That from him, just what his life, his journey has gotten to this point?
Well, the thing about him is I think he has a different type of appreciation for every opportunity that he has. Every single day he shows up and works, and that's got to be, in my opinion, a reflection of the fact that he doesn't take a whole lot for granted. That he's happy to be in the situation that he's in, and he's going to make the most of every day. And he shows up with a smile on his face, a great attitude, and he's really a great person. I'm excited that he's part of our room. I think he's going to be an impactful person, not only as a player on the field, but just what he's going to be able to do within the room and with the guys.
Is what you guys are going to ask of Marvin much different from what he was doing at Georgia?
We're a little bit different schematically, so it's going to be a little bit different. He'll be a lot more hand in the dirt, defensive end here, just because that's what we do. A little bit less in coverage. He's sometimes played a little bit more outside linebacker in his previous scheme, but so it'll be more fitting to what we do from a 4-down perspective. But a lot of the things are going to have carryover and have some similarities.
Coach Norvell said about a year ago that depth is what wins championships on the defensive front. How did you obviously saw it play out last year winning the ACC title? And what about going about reconfiguring that room with the defense?
Sure. You could see how it showed up obviously a year ago when we needed the depth pieces. We were probably a little bit deeper inside last year and maybe a little thinner on the edges. Now I think we have really good depth defensively. So I think there's a lot of different guys that are playing different roles, and I'm excited to watch them eat and see how it all plays out.
We were talking about Patrick when I walked up. Like, for a guy that's had as much success as he's had, is it challenging to find ways to challenge him, or are there still plenty of things to do?
No, I think what Pat's mentality is not to be the best defensive end in Florida State. I mean, his mentality is to be one of the best defensive ends in the country, and to do that, I think he understands what kind of commitment and focus that's going to take. And he's had two great guys that were kind of role models that go in front of him who have accomplished some of the things I know he wants to accomplish. As a freshman, he was able to watch Jermaine. The last couple of years, he's been able to be with Jared, and both those guys are going to be in a position where I know Pat wants to go. And so I think he sees what it takes, what he's going to have to get done, and I think he's continually looking for ways to get better as a player.
Coach Norvell talked about Jermaine and Jared both being back here this week, and that relationship. How special has that been for you, for what it does for the younger guys to see those guys come back and how much they appreciate it?
Well, now that we're going into our 5th year, you do feel a little bit more of a sense of program, for your former players to come back and see some familiar faces. Obviously when you first go to a place, you don't have any of that foundation there. So to have guys that you coach that come around and want to invest in the younger players, but also they've built a camaraderie and a relationship that I think has been impressive to see. And actually, they were in my office earlier today, and Jermaine was kind of teasing Jared about, hey, you're lucky that I recruited you here and all this stuff. But I do think both of their recruitments and the fact that they believed in what we were trying to build here were two really pivotal moments in this current staff's time at Florida State. Jermaine came coming off 3 wins off of COVID. Jared came coming off of 5. Believing in the vision of what we were trying to build, and then while he was here, we went 23-3, and I think that was critical in terms of what he was able to, his legacy that he's able to leave, and his impact on the program.
With the younger, some of the younger defensive ends were kind of limited last year for different reasons. Like, how important is this spring going to be for Hester and Lamont and all those guys?
It's a really critical spring for those two. We were actually talking about it today as a staff. This is really the first time I'm going to have an opportunity to truly evaluate them in a way that could, in terms of them playing. Obviously when they're freshmen, you're just trying to grow them and develop them a little bit. And then unfortunately both of them had injuries that really kind of set them back in terms of last year. So this is going to be a critical spring because I do think they both have some talent and ability. And just kind of see where that goes from there.
And then, in terms of you talked about the versatility. Is that coming to play in the spring at all in terms of like looking at guys at different spots, or is that more of a camp?
Well, I think it's a combination. I think you can get a feel for how guys are going to be able to impact your team throughout the course of spring. We probably won't get into any schematic specific packaging or anything like that until we get into fall camp, until we can kind of get through spring and be able to digest, exactly what we think of each person. Because there are a lot of new faces at all three levels of the defense. There's a lot of talented guys, but there's a lot of guys that we got to learn more about. And I think that's going to be one of the things that's exciting about the spring is getting to know these guys and see how we can piece these 11 guys together to make the best defense we can.